Hello, thank you for tuning into my channel, YouTube. This is Azrael, and in this video, I'm going to do a quick narrative about dream interpretation. Sometimes a dream is just a dream. Sometimes it's not. How do you know? Well, if you love Disney, then you have already learned that a dream is a wish your heart makes. I like saying, can't remember which fictional character said, I want to say Agent Mulder from the X-Files, but it goes that a dream are answers to questions your heart has not learned to ask. I think that's pretty cool. But here's here it goes. Okay, first of all, no matter where you live in the world, if you was to pick up a dream book, a book on dream interpretation, they're going to give you a very generalized version. Okay, the problem with this is that not all cultures interpret the symbolism the same. Not every individual does either. Let me give you a quick example. Serpents. In most Christian nations, or strong Christian cultures, a serpent is synonymous with a dragon, sometimes the worm, because a serpent is called a worm because it's long and right, just like a worm. So the symbolism of the worm and dragon often are associated with a snake, and vice versa. So if you're a Christian, for example, and you have a weird dream that you think needs to be interpreted, and you dream about a snake, well, in Christian culture, snakes are liars, deceivers, people that sneak behind your back. In other cultures, the snake or dragon, such as like in China, depending on what kind, because there's different species of dragons, but certain dragons bring good luck. Great. See the difference? So if you have a dream book that tells you that it's a negative thing, then that's a problem. Different cultures. Now, if you are not a Christian and still living in a Christian culture, for example, you still might have been influenced about the Christian definition of the serpent. So this could be very problematic. How do we solve this? Well, we solve this because you are the one having the dream. It's your brain, your subconscious. Now, first of all, the dreams process the information you have been exposed to, through the days before the dream or the day of the dream. Okay. So yes, sometimes a dream is just a dream. However, it's always going to be a mixture. It could be a prophetic dream. It could be a dream that you need to interpret. But because it's your brain, it's you, and you are getting emotional responses in these dreams all the time. Every single time you have a dream, there will be parts of the dream which is nothing more than your brain trying to rationalize and process the information. Other parts will be attached with emotions. These are the ones that you really have to look at, because these emotions are reflecting back to you from your deep subconscious. Okay, so when you want to interpret a dream, go ahead, yeah, look it up. Look, say what certain things represent, but keep in mind, what does that symbol? I mean, take into consideration what it means in the culture you grew up in. But what does it mean to you? See, with me, even though I have a tendency to be kind of wary of snakes, only because snakes are lizards, reptiles, and they don't have the thinking brain of a mammal. So I could pet and teach my dog not to bite my hand. The snake just kind of has to learn, like, okay, you're not food, but it's not as smart as a dog or as smart as a cat. So I don't trust animals that based their intelligence mostly on instinct. And that's what snakes do. But I'm not scared of snakes. I'm just kind of wary of them. I pet them. They are symbols to me of what they really are in the ancient world. And the ancient, pre-Christian snakes often were symbols of wisdom. They were symbols of immortality and healing. Mainly because when a snake sheds its skin, before he sheds his skin, his eyes glaze over. He looks sickly, looks kind of like he might be dying or something. Then he sheds the skin, and then he's like the phoenix, renewed. So this version of looking sick, becoming clean, becoming healed, and shedding and continue to live, shedding his dead skin, they became symbols of immortality. This is what my brain associates them with, the positive aspect. Okay, obviously, a positive aspect, depending on the content of the dream, could change the meaning of its context. It could be a symbol of a liar as opposed to a symbol of healing. How do I know this? How did you feel in the dream? How did you feel analyzing the dream when you woke up? Dreams, like I say, they process information, and they'll process. If you go to the store to buy cookies and you see a lobster tank with lobsters, you might go to bed that night and dream that a lobster went to the store to go buy some cookies. Okay, it's just processing information, but it's also processing information you have emotionally, and these are usually of dreams that are based in emotion are usually more vivid. So when you go into dream interpretation, was this dream very emotional? These are the ones that you need to pay attention to. You should write down all your dreams, the ones that are emotional, ones that are not. This will create a template for you to teach yourself the patterns that you have in dreaming. So you'll start learning how to interpret your own dreams better by having a dream journal, forcing yourself to read past experiences and contrasting them with the future experiences. You see, this will help create a template and a pattern for you. And understand there's three things going on here. You have cultural meaning, your emotional and personal meaning, and then probably no meaning at all. And all these three are rolled up into one specific dream sequence or multiple ones. Other dreams, the dreams that you have that you should also pay special attention to, is not just the ones that give you emotion, like I said, but the ones that if you wake up in the middle of it, go use the restroom, go get a drink of water, you go back to bed, and then the dream picks back up. So you have these persistent dreams that you might have multiple times, dreams that pick up where they left off when you woke up and went back to sleep, and emotional dreams. These are the ones that you really are trying to scream at you something. So these are the ones you need to focus on. You know, if you go to sleep, you just dream something stupid like, oh, hey, there was an elephant in my front yard, and I was eating a cheeseburger pizza. All right, weird stuff. That's probably just your brain processing what happened. But the more deeper meanings that where your brain is processing more important things that you need to pay attention to, this is always going to be a very moving and emotional dream that can have weird aspects that don't make sense with dream logic. But this is how you tell the difference between just a mundane, oh, it's a dream. We all dream. My dog dreams. Probably chasing a rabbit, right? It's telling him deep down he really wants to be free and be a primal, okay? Whatever. You understand, dreams, they're just processing information. But how do you know which dreams are focusing on the information they're processing on things that your subconscious is trying to tell you? And then we also go into separate, let's say, prophetic dreams. Prophetic dreams are more realistic. Yeah, there's a thing called dream logic. Shit just don't make sense because your brain's just processing information any way it can, and it creates a narrative. So you can open up your refrigerator and see Zool from the Ghostbusters. Okay, all right, dream logic. But if you dream like, hey, okay, you wake up, you go to work in your dream, and everything's normal, like it would be on an everyday basis, and something weird happens. That isn't necessarily dream logic. Whatever, let's say you dream of a car wreck going down your usual way. You're driving in your dream, you're driving left. Okay, here I make a right. Then you have a car wreck in your dream and say this is persistent. This is a dream that you should take a different way to work. Okay, it is these road signs that help tell you when a dream needs to be focused on. Again, maybe it's a personal subconscious thing that your emotions are trying to rationalize. Is it a prophetic dream? How do you, prophetic dreams usually have something happening in a dream setting that lacks dream logic. Not always time. It could be a little bit of dream logic, but it won't be completely out of the blue. If you pay attention to your dreams, you'll find out often that the story picks up in the middle. In the dream, when you're rationalizing it, when you're awake, you realize in the dream it didn't tell you how you got there. Well, that might happen in a prophetic dream. You might wake up. You might be in the dream and you're at work, but in the dream, you'll know how you got to work. And everything is pretty much normal. Everybody's wearing the same kind of clothes, same people you see every day, doing the same mundane task every day, but then something different, something changes, and it's a bad thing or a good thing. This is hinting that this is not just a dream being put together by your subconscious to rationalize things, because your brain uses dream logic in regular dreams. It's just processing things randomly, shoehorning stuff into the narrative. You could be having fun playing in the park in one dream, and there's a spaceship floating on the other side. This is off the wall stuff. That don't. So this is probably just a dream, but pay attention to your emotions, because even though it has the dream logic, it's still trying to talk to you subconsciously about your emotions. Maybe these aliens are talking about an alien situation or a situation you're not used to, and how whatever you associate with these alien creatures, like in the sci-fi, do they scare you? Is it something that you want? Maybe it's telling you, your subconscious is telling you that you need to go into situations that are alien to you, right? Don't know. It depends on your emotions, your emotional response, and how you feel. Okay, and of course, in a prophetic dreams tend to have less dream logic and more day-to-day mundane stuff, like you was daydreaming what you're going to do tomorrow. It's pretty much cut and dry, but yet something out of the ordinary happens, and then it invokes an emotional response. So these are some tips on when you interpreting dreams. Start with yourself first. What does these symbols, these things in your dream represent? Create a list, the pros and the cons. How did you feel? All right. How can you take these and interpret them as symbols that might not mean anything directly? For example, wasp nests. I dream a lot about wasps, and sometimes that means that somebody's after you. And me as an open witch on a YouTube platform and an open witch in public, there's a lot of people that don't really care for witches or non-Christians. So I often have a lot of people trying to sting me like a wasp. And by the way, out of all the creatures created and evolved in nature, I hate wasps the most. I hate them. I hate them. Love everything in nature, but a wasp can go fuck itself. I hate wasps. And because every single time I've ever been stung, I've been stung by a bee, but that's because I accidentally hit their nest. Anytime I've ever been stung by a stinging bug like a wasp, usually unprovoked. I'm just sitting here minding my business. The yellow jacket goes, "Hey, how you doing?" Sting. Bees have landed on me and flew away. So wasps, they just are here to sting me. I don't like them. But so in my dream, I get very negative responses. All right. Then you have those other dreams symbolism. Like say a death in a dream might represent a marriage, but sometimes it's not as poetic as that. Maybe it just means you're scared of losing that person. Might not predict their death, but maybe it's just telling you that their existence and your worry about their health is really affecting you. It could be something as mundane as that. It's still a dream interpretation, but dreams don't have to have this ultra mega life-changing meaning that it needs to tell you. Usually these meanings need to be interpreted to tell you what's going on currently in your subconscious. That's the best thing I could say. These are just some side posts on tips. I'm sorry, side tips on how to interpret dreams. And if you're going to understand, again, I'm going to repeat real quick. The best way to know which dreams you need to interpret is the emotional ones, the ones that repeat, the ones that pick up after they've repeated, and dreams that lack dream logic. Again, dream logic is something like there's a pink elephant, sitting in your couch for no reason. It's just sitting there. Maybe you saw a commercial with a pink elephant and you just bought a brand new couch, and that's how your brain is rationalizing it. There's an elephant from the commercial sitting on the couch you just bought. That's it. But again, it's those emotional responses, those emotional cues. How vivid is this dream? The more that's another thing I think I mentioned, but I'm just going to mention again just in case. The emotional dreams are usually more vivid. Even if it's not emotional, if the dream is like almost crystal clear, vivid when you wake up, that's another sign that you need to pay attention to it, because other dreams tend to fade away within minutes when you wake up. If you wake up and you don't keep on thinking about that dream, you will forget it through the day. All right, so dreams that are filled with emotional response, dreams that repeat, whether daily or the same night. And then the dreams that are vivid. It might not have emotional response, but they're so vivid that you almost forget that it's a dream. These are are the ones that you need to pay attention to more so than the other dreams. Okay. I also don't like. I was going to touch base about how the dead talk to you in dreams, which is a possibility. I don't like the dead coming to me in my dreams because I've dreamt of my dad since he's been dead. I've dreamt of my mother since she's been dead. But if you watch my videos, I have experience where I'm wide ass awake and I see spirits and they communicate with me and talk to me. That's what I look for. If so, the dead probably don't really talk to me in the dreams because, like I said, I've dreamt of my dad since he's been dead. I've also dreamt of my dad when he was alive in similar situations to me. Both cases are just me having an emotional response because of he's missing in my life, and other times emotional response because I was afraid of losing him. So I don't really care for the dead talking to us in the dreams. That happens. I believe it happens. It's just that with these dreams, I've always had a problem. This is where one of my shortcomings is. I don't know if this is the dead speaking to me because I want to believe it, or it's just my brain creating it. So, but that's another video. Well, I'll do that with a video on how to use dreams to communicate with the dead, or especially lucid dreams. In any case, thank you for watching this video. I hope this video clarified. So how can you tell when a dream needs to be focused on as opposed to one that's just a dream? Thank you for watching. Keep Saturn and Saturnalia, and keep the Yule and Yuletide. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Thank you for being my friends.